Good day, my brothers and sisters. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm your honored host, Colin McCauley, and this is Con of Knowledge. A description of the show is essentially within the title, but for further explanation, it is the manipulation of humanity's collective knowledge to allow for one to benefit not only themselves, but society as a whole. Con of Knowledge will be broadcasted for free on YouTube, Facebook, Minds, iTunes, SoundCloud, and of course, conofknowledge.com. So, are you ready for some knowledge to swell the dome? Perfect. Let's begin. So today will be a continuation of the previous episode on determinism and how to exploit it for your own personal benefit. As previously discussed, the main factors or causal events which influence one's future actions, decisions, thoughts, their processes, and so forth are environmental, biological, and psychic deterministic factors. These three factors are the key to the exploitation of this knowledge and gaining full control over your existential reality. Now, realistically, we all know that it is impossible to change the past. However, we are fully aware that an alteration of the present is fully possible, and that is precisely how we will take control over ourselves and negate the effects of our biological influences while manipulating our psyche to influence the psychic deterministic factors. So how can this be done? The explanation of this exploit is rather long, so I urge you to take notes and wait until the end of the show to begin this process rather than attempt to do so now, or visualize what you are soon going to do right now, as you won't gain the full benefits of this if you only use certain aspects of this process. Mind you, I'm not going to prescribe you a definitive guide that works for everyone. I'm simply going to give you some examples, and you will have to relate it to your own life and produce your own plan. If I per se hired by you and knew everything about you in grave detail, then I would certainly be able to do so. But that isn't the case. I don't know you, so you'll have to devise a plan on your own. I'm simply opening the door for you. The path in which you take is completely up to you. The first thing that you're going to want to do is alter your external environment in order to exploit the way in which it influences you and eludes you into performing certain tasks to a point that will allow them to benefit you as you strive to attain your goals. Begin with something simple that you already have power over and you fully control, such as your bedroom in your home. So essentially you have to stop being a child and actually clean your room. Redesign it so that your room will assist you as the starting point to your daily life. The placement of every item from your bed to your wardrobe to where you place your wallet at night. All of which should be contemplated and calculated to be placed in the most beneficial area for yourself. Remember that things such as wallets, wardrobes, beds, rooms, and so forth are simply tools just like a hammer, and that includes theories like that of determinism or mine of how to exploit it. If a tool is broken or useless, you either repair it by altering it, making necessary ramifications, or replace it with something more viable for your use regarding the task at hand. The changes to your home will assist you in your daily life while preparing to achieve your goals, as well as teaching you discipline to carry onwards into other tasks, conviction to ensure they are followed through, a sense of responsibility for your own life, and a form of maturity for the successful realization of the fact that you are the figure of authority within your own life. Your room is an externalized version of your mind. When you are alone in your room is essentially yourself. So control your room in order to control yourself. The next task within the boundaries of the environmental factors is for you to eliminate unwanted influences. The general rule for this is if it is not positive or conducive when relating towards the attainment of your goals, cut it out from the realm of your life, otherwise it will be a negative influence on you. The most important of these is the social and environmental factors, which sadly includes your friends and family as they have the most pull regarding your influence. However, if they are a good influence, keep them around. They'll sort you out whenever you mess up. Just be sure you are not offended by constructive criticism, as that's counterproductive. So an example of this would be, let's say you're a university student and has a friend that always wants to go out and get drunk with you on a tri-weekly basis. Well, you have assignments that you must complete and they get mad at you and insult you for not going out to drink with them. If you give in to their desires, you're giving in to being irresponsible, condoning their childish behavior, and hurting yourself in the long term. Not only this, but if you believe those attributes that your so-called friend stated you have while insulting you, you begin to undermine yourself and lessen your capabilities, which limits yourself from achieving your full potential. It sucks, I know, but sometimes you have to realize that not all friendships are necessary or beneficial towards you. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be a prick and not be kind, generous, and helpful towards this person, but it does mean that you must take care of yourself before another. Because if you're too run down to help yourself, how is it that you suppose that you will be of value to another? So now you know a couple of ways that you can alter your environment to change how it influences you. There's millions of more, and I'm sure you yourself can come up with many. Or maybe I just have too much faith in humanity. Who knows? The second factor we are going to try to combat is the biological factor. But to be quite honest, this also intertwines with the psychic deterministic factors, so I have a lot less work to do. Amen. Currently, within today's technology, we can't manipulate our biochemistry and things of the sort with ease. In fact, it's relatively impossible. But what you can do is combat how your own inherent nature made who you are today. For instance, if you have over-the-top anger issues, you can do mindfulness meditation, compassion, and understanding practices, as well as anger management, so that you will no longer have problems controlling your instinctual, emotional response of anger in the most unnecessary of situations. Also, just a side note, if you have over-the-top anger issues, I highly suggest that you seek help to gain some control over your reality, because to act without reason or logic off of mere instinctual emotional triggers, as a social justice warrior would, inhibits your capability for personal growth and leaves you with less control over your actions. So right now some of you may be thinking, controlled biological factors which made me who I am today by altering psychological deterministic factors which make me who I am right now? Well, no, it isn't nuts at all, really. It's quite simple. Well, simple in theory, reality is always slightly tougher, especially to hold this up for extended periods of time. But anyway, have you ever heard of this thing called the placebo effect? Well, if not, let me explain it to you quickly. The placebo effect is essentially when a harmless pill, medicine, or procedure is prescribed to a patient more so for the psychological benefit to the patient for any physiological effect. So basically, they give someone a sugar pill and tell them it's the ultimate cure to whatever it is that the person has. That person believes it, and for some odd reason from that belief, their ailment is cured. So how does this relate? Well, basically I want you to do the same thing with your psyche, to alter yourself quickly for your own benefit by telling yourself a lie and, well, believing it. Kind of how a person with multiple personality disorder can have one personality speak a language they've never been taught, they can lift ridiculous weight they've never trained for, or no longer require the use of prescription glasses, and in some cases went from being blind to able to see within certain personalities. So just to be clear, right now I'm not asking you to master your mind and its capabilities within a short period of time, because that would essentially be impossible. It takes years of practice. It's actually something that I'm dedicating my life to, but all I want is for you to imagine who you are right now at this present moment. But not right now. Do it after the show. Again, I will say that I honestly suggest that you take a piece of paper, jot down some notes, and follow through with it at the end of the show, as it's hard to learn and do something that requires significant thought and meditation at the same time as you learn it. I'm not teaching you how to do something that requires kinesthetics, like throwing a baseball. This merely requires your mind. Alright, macho man, woman, other, and or furries? Scrappity cola. So again, sit down, close your eyes, and visualize, define, and conceptualize your current self. Everything in that has happened to you, and brought you to the present moment to where you are, who you are now. Once you have the vision of your present self, erase it. You can't have any biases impacting the construction of this new you. So what you now need to do is visualize, define, and conceptualize the perfect version of yourself. And I don't mean where you want to be involving your future goals, lifestyle, and so forth. I mean the perfect version of yourself regarding your ID and ego, your personality and traits such as your demeanor, confidence, conviction, etc. If you want, even throw in an image of what you want this person to look like. Hell, I did that when I did this for myself. Then, once you've done this, simply tell yourself that you are that person. Then act like it. Be that person. Otherwise, you will never become this person just from simply dreaming and desiring it. You must have the conviction to automatically be whom you desire to be, because in essence, you already are. The only thing that separates you from being this person is the actions and decisions you are currently about to make by deciding, nah, I'm not this person yet, I'll be this person when fill in the blank here occurs. If you don't know what kind of traits you would like to have, look them up, teach them to yourself, and simply use them. Well, that pretty much sums up the gist of how to exploit the theory of determinism. All you have to do is manipulate and alter your environment and psychic deterministic factors to get the best potential outcome for yourself. Also try to alter your daily schedule, including the time periods you take part in mind state altering activities, such as exercise, meditation, and so forth, to see which is most beneficial to leading you towards having the most successful days. For instance, I try meditating every morning and carrying out my day with the attempt of taking with me the mind state I had while meditating. Please do take note that there are many factors which are involved within your environmental influences, including the music you listen to, movies, television, news, social media, even things that may seem to be insignificant, such as that guy that passed you by on the street which nodded his head down towards you in respect. Be sure that whenever you are capable of controlling the influences which you consume, you do so in a manner which benefits you most. For instance, even if I like a song and it influences my mood in a negative manner, I will not listen to it, but rather only songs which increase positivity in my mood and productivity for my mind. So congratulations! You can now manipulate deterministic factors which influence your every decision and act. You now have stronger delusions of free will. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you learned something that can assist you in sorting your life out. It definitely helped me. Again, I will say that I most certainly did not explain every possible avenue there is to do this. Probably not even 1% of the possibilities. There are many more, and I am sure that you have the capacity to find ways to benefit yourself. These are just examples to give you an understanding of things you can do as a reference. Be sure to tune in next time for more knowledge to swell the dome. Thank you for listening, as it has been an honor serving you. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ConofKnowledge, and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or a topic you would like to talk to me about, go to my website, conofknowledge.com/contact, and send me a message. Again, this is Con of Knowledge, and I wish you a blissful existence. Peace. So now you know a couple of